final gift would be the settlement of Chonabuk. Thanks to Peace TV, nearly 200,000 viewers from 194 countries followed the live broadcast of the ceremony, which captured the attention of close to 250 media outlets, including the main Korean channels, thereby sharing Chopin's vision of peace and messages of hope with the world. Son Jin-yoon, international president of FFWPU, and her husband opened the Hyojong Festival.
비전을 가지고 행동을 하면 기적이 일어난다. 비전 2020.
After cheers of victory led by Mrs. Ju Young-woon and the closing ceremony of Peace Road, the Hyojong Assembly began. After the gracious songs of praise from the Chongshin Choir, Chonabuk's leaders, as well as Prophet Senora Devi, presented heartfelt reports of activities in their local areas where the miracles are being accomplished.
참아올리고 온전히 하다며 그날을 위해 뛰어나겠다고 몸부림 치시는 하나님을 위해 우리는 무엇을 해야 되겠습니까?
The only begotten daughter of God, she has paved and continues to pave the way for all the women of the world and all humanity to move in the direction of peace.
120만 신종내 총리를 개최할 것을 필리핀과 아시아 식구들은 경의하였습니다, 여러분! 신아시아와 태평양이 신통의 항구를 이루는데 선두주자가 되겠습니다, 여러분! 축복의 불길이 50개 주로 번져서 바로 오기 전에 50개 주 전체가 ACNC 지구가 결성이 되고 또 활동하고 또 참 부모님을 메시아로 증거하고 참 어머님을 독생으로 증거하는 역사적이고 실적적인 일들이 벌어지고 있습니다.
내가 죽고 참 어머님이 내 안에 계신다면 넘쳐나는 일이 없을 것입니다. 내가 죽고 참 아버님의 거룩한 성령이 우리 안에 가신다면 기적의 역사가 시작될 것입니다.
All 30,000 people committed to becoming Hyojong children that resemble true parents, and to move forward joyfully in order to offer the final gift, the day of victory of the settlement of Chonabuk. Last week, under Tremendous grace and guidance, we had the dedication ceremony of the Hyojong Cultural Center and the 11th Moon Hyojin Music Festival. Nearly 800 participants joined the GTGY, about 150 members of the Hyojong Cultural and Artistic Group. They are all expected to become central figures and agents of progress in the culture of the Harlem Revolution. They were part of an intense educational program that enabled them to be reborn as pure water that will cleanse the world. In addition, an exhibition on our True Parents' life and work was held under the theme, Hope, which expressed the desire to see True Parents' providence advance towards a heavenly nation, heavenly continent, and a heavenly world that glorifies God. Leaders of UPF, IAPP, IAPD, and ISCP from various nations met in the lead-up to 2020. Through discussions and debates, they reflected on how to spread True Parents' vision for all humanity, that is, interdependence, mutual prosperity, and universally shared values. On that day, Jim Rogers, a global investor, accepted the position of special advisor to UPF and the World Peace Road Foundation, showing his active support for the Peace Highway led by other True Parents. The H.J. Magnolia also held an international conference. 100 executives of business and business-related foundations attended the conference. They discussed ways and means of advancing the cause of realizing an ideal world without economic discrimination. Following the launch of the Peace Road project, various events took place all over the world. In total, over 400,000 people from 130 nations are actively participating in the Peace Road project. This year, leaders and riders from all areas of the society started the Injikaki road across South Korea to Seoul Metropolitan Plaza. It was a great opportunity to express our wish for Korea to co-host the 2032 Olympic Games and to promote peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula. The New Eden, Heaven on Earth. In the HJ Jumbo Training Center, under the direct guidance of our true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, 40,000 people from over 60 countries came to attend the great works. Part of the program taught us how to achieve spiritual perfection through works in the physical world and how to live victorious lives in order to be liberated and recorded as Jumbo people. At the same time, in the HG Chongo complex, a special Hyojong workshop for newly appointed Chongo leaders took place, and new leaders from Asia, Africa, and Europe participated in the leaders' workshop. The Chongo Leaders Assembly for the Victory of Vision 2020 was a time when we could all meet and interact. The Chongo leaders told us of many miracles and of works of the substantial Holy Spirit, our true mother. With the fervent heart and life or death determination, they all vowed to do their best to bring about great success. True Mother joined the Chongo Leaders Assembly Victory Celebration. She came amidst the victorious shouts and accepting our Johnson and resolution. On that day, the powerful performances of Sacred League, the youth camp participants, and global Top Gun youth trainees brought hope to all. True Mother personally presented certificates to representatives from the youth camp, the Global Top Gun Youth, and announced the providence of 2028, the 60th anniversary of the celebration of God's Day, as well as announcing the reorganization of the 5 organs of Chongo. She blessed our university as the National University of Chongo and spoke about the plan for the 3rd generation of true family.
2028년은 참 하나님의 날이 제정된 지 60주년을 맞게 됩니다. 이제 나는 2020 국가복귀 승리한 그대회에 참 하나님의 날을 하늘 부모님의 60주년을 맞이하면서 앞으로 천일국은 지상에서 활동하고 있는 독생녀 참 어머니와 하늘 부모님이 함께 하신다는 기적을 여러분들을 볼 것입니다. 그래서 앞으로 3대권을 세워서 직접 내가 지도 교육하여 중심 인물로 세울 것입니다. 내가 세워야 할 손주들이 40세가 되는 데까지는 내가 건강하게 살아 있어야 되겠다. 그들에게 나는 완성한 남자로서, 가정으로서 성장하는 그런 시간을 주려고 합니다. 그래서 나는 신출 신흥 두 손자의 배필이 될 수 있는 상대자를 세계적으로 공포하여 추천하여 앞으로 천일국의 중심 인물을 받들어서 발전시킬 수 있는 귀한 손주 며느리감을 여러분들이 자신 있는 사람은 다 추천하길 바랍니다. 그래서 2020에는 약혼식을 해주고 2023에 결혼식을 시킬 것입니다. 하늘이 믿고 사랑할 수 있는 그날을 감사한 마음으로 준비하고 기다리십시오. 참 부모 앞에는 72곳 인류가 다 자랑스러운 아들딸입니다. 책임자가 될 사람들은 자기를 버리고 참 부모와 특히 독생이여 참 어머니와 하나된 자리에서 성장해야 합니다. 한국에 있건 일본에 있건 유럽에 있건 세계 어디에 있든 간에 이제 한 체제로서 참 부모님이 이룩한 이 재단이 세계를 위하여 살 수 있을까 하는 데 있어서 관심을 많이 써주기 바랍니다.
With creativity and love, Mother created a solid foundation for future generations. Those present were inspired to expand the physical and spiritual world of love, promising true filial piety towards true parents. Subsequently, before they returned to their countries of mission, in a separate meeting with True Mother, the key leaders of Channelbook shared their impression of the summer festival and how they're preparing for the next stage.
우리가 기획하고 만드는 것은 영혼이야. 그러려면 모든 면에서 최고가 돼야 돼. 그렇게 해서 천일국을 안착합시다.
Expressed their complete unity with true parents and longed for the day of childhood, the day when we will all embrace each other in tears of joy. For all 1,095 days without skipping a single day, she went to the grave to pay her respects. For the past 7 years, with the heart of giving birth to all the world, True Mother has continued to push forward, going to all parts of the world. Now it is time for us to give Heavenly Parent and True Father a gift. We will do our best to see the day where all the world's 5 races will be awakened. This summertime was the chance for all members to increase their determination to realize the day that Father so long desired to see. It is not just a time to remember our true Father, it is a time to reflect on how to bring about his dream, the settlement of Chernobyl. True Mother awakened us to that reality, giving us more courage to move forward. It is now a time for us, blessed family members, filled with the heart of Hyojong, to share with the world the will of true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. I pray that as we do that, we create miracles With this word, I will end this week's news. Thank you for watching. May God bless you and your families.
Thank you very much, beloved brothers and sisters. Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday fellowship. First, I would like to welcome everyone. I would like to request everyone to please come forward. So we're going to officially start our Sunday fellowship. Please, those who are seated at the back, please move forward. Please occupy the space in front of you, on the vacant seats. So thank you very much, beloved brothers and sisters, for coming, even though I know everyone is very busy now in the Providence, all over the world, wherever you go. I know everybody is very busy, right? But still you are here this Sunday, so thank you very much for coming. So today, we will going to start by singing songs of praise. We're going to sing holy song. Since we don't have our own band yet, maybe later on we are going to create also in our headquarters. So today we will be singing following the LA band, Los Angeles band in America. So we'll be singing 3 songs and then we're going to continue with our Sunday fellowship. So let's sing together this song, Unite into One. Thank you. Let's sing another song. Song number 2, Praise of the Holy God. Song number 27. Holy song number 2.
Glory
brothers and sisters. Once again, I would like to request other brothers and sisters to please fill up the vacant seats in front of you. Yeah, because also today, we have also many activities today. Also, there is a blessing. That's why some brothers and sisters couldn't come. Yeah, so please fill up the seats available. So we're going to begin our Sunday fellowship. So actually today is a really very special day, right? Today is also the anniversary of the 30,000 couples and 360,000 couples. So anyway, later we will going to have our simple cake cutting after this Sunday fellowship to celebrate with all our beloved blessed families belonging to 30,000 and 360,000 couples. So anyway, as you can see, a while ago with the news, we can see overwhelming work actually of our beloved True Mother. So we just concluded the 7th Songwa anniversary of our beloved True Father. Actually, this is the last big event actually before the 2020. So now we are all marching forward for the fulfillment of Vision 2020. So we are looking forward for February 2020. So really our True Mother, is really investing everything to fulfill her promise to our Heavenly Parent and to our beloved True Father of fulfilling and offering at least minimum of 7 nations without fail. So all the nations of the world now, we are trying our best also in the Philippines to really completely unite, right? Of course, our sub-regional director, our group chairman, Dr. Yong, and our beloved True Parents, our True Mother now who is leading the providence on earth, and then our beloved True Father leading the providence in the spiritual world. Aju? Yeah, so we can see the great results of the work in the physical world and also in the spiritual world by our beloved True Parents. So we are really so fortunate to really live in this time. So to begin now our Sunday fellowship, I would like to request everyone to please close your eyes and let us meditate with the words of our founder, our True Father. The realm of True Parents' victory is not limited to them as individuals. It leaves a mark on the history of the universe. You have to inherit this. In order to do so, you have to recover what Adam and Eve lost by their failure to have absolute faith and absolute love, and you have to clean up the stain in the lineage. You can accomplish this within the realm of victory that I have prepared. All you need to do is follow the original track, climbing up the 8 stages, beginning at the individual level, then starting again at the bottom on the family level and climbing up again, and so on. Then you should be able to go about your life freely. From a 2-dimensional viewpoint, God and human beings have been separated at opposite poles. Hence, True Parents had to go and bring God back into the family. I surmounted all 8 stages, both vertically and horizontally, and broke free from the realm of Satan's accusation. Therefore, I can now freely attend God in the family and also on the national level. I'll repeat, the realm of True Parents' victory is not limited to them as individuals. It leaves a mark on the history of the universe. You have to inherit this. In order to do so, you have to recover what Adam and Eve lost by their failure to have absolute faith and absolute love. And you have to clean up the stain in the lineage. You can accomplish this within the realm of victory that I have prepared. All you need to do is follow the original track, climbing up the 8 stages, beginning on the individual level, then starting again at the bottom on the family level, and climbing up again, and so on. Then you should be able to go about your life freely. From a 2-dimensional viewpoint, God and human beings have been separated at opposite poles. Hence, True Parents had to go and bring God back into the family. I surmounted all 8 stages, both vertically and horizontally, and broke free from the realm of Satan's accusation. Therefore, I can now freely attend God in the family and also on the national level. I'd like to request everyone to please rise for the singing of Channel Group Anthem. Please remain standing for the family pledge. So first, let us offer our respect and gratitude to our heavenly parents and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. 천지 창부모님께 경배 바로. Let's recite family pledge number 8. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges having entered the era of Channel Group to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. Meaning of family pledge number 8. What promise is being fulfilled in the completed Testament age? It is the promise that God made with human beings at the time of creation. It means that God is giving the blessing to humankind. God created with absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and aspired toward the ideal, unified world of absolute love. Thus, we should also inevitably practice absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience in order to earn the right to be partners with God. God's purpose of creation, human beings are the only object partners who wear the substantial body of God. They are born as the visible body before the invisible God. When human beings reach perfection, they become God's temples. Now we have reached the realm of liberation, even in the spirit world. The springtime of kingdom of heaven and earth is approaching. The spring that can resurrect new lives is coming to earth. So a peaceful era will come to earth. For the opening prayer, I would like to request Tita Teresa Quito.
Please join me in prayer. Our loving Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. Heavenly Parent, we are so grateful to live in this precious time in history with our victorious true parents, true Father in the spiritual world, and true Mother on earth with us. Heavenly Parent, in the past week, we could celebrate the 7th anniversary of True Father's ascension with our True Mother. And it was such a loving tribute to our True Father by Mother writing a letter to True Father from the bottom of her heart, really expressing her love and respect and gratitude to our True Father, and being completely united, Heavenly Parent, in fulfilling True Father's vision of establishing the substantial John L. Cook on this earth. And Heavenly Parent, we had the John L. Cook Leaders Meeting, Heavenly Parent, where the regional chairman promised to help True Mother fulfill this goal together with each one of us. And especially, Heavenly Parent, we are proud of Dr. Young, our regional chairman, who emphasized the offering of 7 John L. Cook nations, and one of them is the Philippines, Heavenly Parent, especially with the 1.2 million assembly at the Carino Grandstand on November 22, 2020. Heavenly Parent, please protect and guide our leaders and all brothers and sisters, and help us unite together in purity and oneness of heart to fulfill this goal, Heavenly Parent, and to realize each and every step, one by one, to fulfill this great goal. Heavenly Parent, thank you for this precious opportunity to be together with our leaders today and to receive a precious message from our elder brother, Julius Malikin. Heavenly Parent, we thank you and ask you to be with us from the beginning to the end of this Sunday service. And in gratitude, we offer this prayer in Teresa Quito's name, of the Robert and Teresa Quito Blessed Central Family of John L. Cook, which each and everyone gathered here are Jew.
Please be seated. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. So once again, I would like to welcome everyone, and I would like to request that let us greet each other as our tradition, especially our Sub-Regional Director, our Reverend Dr. Julius Manikdem, and all the central families, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our Sunday Fellowship. Thank you very much for coming. So to proceed, we will going to have the scriptural reading. I would like to request our sister Riley.
Hello. Good morning, brothers and sisters. From the book of John Sankyong, book 4, Chairperson, chapter 1, the true human beings that God created, section 3, the purpose of our creation, and the 3 great blessings. Loyalty and filial piety as duties to God. There is no one on earth, from the individual to all of humankind, who does not desire to be good. That is why people throughout history and to this day have been aspiring to goodness. Educators and people of faith have endeavored to establish the standard of goodness. Therefore, when we are born, we should be born for goodness. When we live, we should live for goodness. And when we die, we should die for goodness. This is the purpose of our life. It is not only the purpose of our life, it is also the purpose of history, which is entwined with the life of every human being. It may be important to live in affluence and to become somebody significant. However, more than anything else, we need to fulfill our duty of filial piety and loyalty to our vertical heavenly parent. We need to surpass the saints in our devotion to God. This is how human beings can begin to fulfill the original purpose. Further, God created us so that He could meet such people. We have such a purpose to fulfill. After fulfilling it, we should become filial children to our natural parents. We absolutely have to become one with them and live with them. When people feel good, they want to share their joy with their parents, siblings, and relatives. Feeling good is happiness. Happiness is eternal, and what makes it eternal is the heart of love. The center of the universe is the parent-child relationship between God and me. God is my Father, and I am His Son. My ultimate purpose in life is feeling the infinite joy that comes from finding our Father and forming an inseparable relationship with Him. I choose.
Thank you very much for that wonderful reading. So good morning once again, brothers and sisters. So are we ready now to receive the inspiration from Heavenly Parents and Parents? And today we are really honored and really fortunate to receive a very special message. So, as you know, actually, ready. So, anyway, let us really prepare our hearts and together let us welcome our very special speaker for this Sunday. Let us welcome the Sub-Regional Director, the Southeast Asia Pacific. Let's welcome Reverend Dr. Julius Maliktem.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Long time no see. So, I know today is very busy. I think there are around 3 blessing events taking place this afternoon. So, but today, as mentioned by our national leader, today is a very special day, especially those who receive blessing from true parents, 30,000 couples and 360,000 couples. So let us greet them. Happy blessing anniversary. So already 30,000, 27 years have passed since 1992. Is it correct? I lost count already. And for those who received in 1995, August 25, it's their 24th already. Wow, 24 years ago. And it was really amazing to think of all this blessing. And this, actually the 30,000 couple is the stage when the blessing became a worldwide level blessing. That was the start of the expansion of the blessing worldwide. So that's why it elevated the level of the blessing events from that time on in 1992 at Seoul Olympic Stadium. So by the way, those who belong to this blessing order, please stand and we recognize 30,000 and 360,000. Please stand up. Wow. So, thank you very much for surviving. Congratulations. So, mamaya na yung inyong celebration. Okay? So, but today, as you know, and many of you have probably catch up in the internet and in the website, there are many events that took place this celebration of the 7th anniversary of our True Fathers Universal Songwa Ceremony. And many were saying, oh, the August events will be very simple because everybody's thinking about the World Summit, February 2020, the biggest events that will take place in February. So they said the events this August will be very simple, not so many events, but actually, when I participated in these different events, I realized, oh, for them this is simple. But actually, it was a grand celebration of the 7 years after our true Father have ascended into the spirit world. And in fact, and maybe many of you have watched the musical, right? This is the best musical in terms of emotion, heart, and even, you know, the determination. You can feel very different level of attending to parents. So that is why many of the elders and members who testified, they said, this is the best one. In fact, I will honestly tell you, during this time when I was in Korea, every day I was like shedding tears from the time we arrived, because I, together with our national leader, arrived a little bit early. We came August 14, because August 15 and 16, we already have a workshop for newly appointed leaders. And then immediately on the morning, early morning of August 15, our first schedule is visit through Father's Bonyangon at the back of Chonjonggo. So that is why immediately the time was very emotional time, and then offering our kyongbe to the tomb of True Father, offering our prayers. So and then almost every day, like an opportunity to really shed tears. Naturally, tears are coming out. And maybe this musical that was presented, almost the whole time, many people were crying. The whole time, even, you know, when I heard the testimony of some elders, they said somehow they could feel really something that is beyond explanation. And in fact, even many VIPs testified, like, even cried. They couldn't understand why. So, I would like to proceed. So this is the 7th anniversary commemoration of True Father's ascension into the spirit world. And the theme is what? Becoming lights of the world through filial hearts for heaven. Very beautiful, right? Meaning all of us becoming lights of the world through what? Through our filial hearts for heaven. So the celebration is started with a pledge service at Chonjonggo. Again, very early, we went to Bonyangon. So this time, 2 times. We went to True Father's tomb at the Bonyangon at the back of Chonjonggo. And then, group by group, we offered kyongbe and prayers. And then, the last group that came and offered the kyongbe was the members of the True family, together with True Mother. And then after that, everybody went to the 3rd floor of Chonjonggo for the pledge service. This time, not so many attended. Normally, pledge service in Chonjonggo, full pack, many members. But this time, only leaders, elders, and HTMs. So that's why it's really like very restricted number. So it was a pledge service which started very early. And then True Mother, as you can see here, actually when we started the prayer, Mother, you can see she is like also shedding tears. And that time, during the Kyongbe ceremony, so one by one, so all of us offered Kyongbe, but there was a special Kyongbe that took place, region by region, sub-region by sub-region. So all, for example, the 7 continents, starting with Korea, all 13 representatives offered Kyongbe, and then Japan, and then America, and then Europe and Africa, and then together with Asia Pacific and South America. So we offered Kyongbe, group by group, 13 representatives. So it was the first time that they did like this. And then Wonjo McDevitt offered, she read some speeches of True Mother, especially one of the speeches of True Mother given during the rally in Busan. And then, so this is during the Kyongbe ceremony. This is Asia Pacific group and the group of South America together offering Kyongbe. And then True Mother lighted the holy candles, also assisted by Sanjinim and Yonani that time. So as you can see, Mother just lighted the main candle, and then after that, Sanjinim and Yonani continued lighting 5 candles here and another 5 candles here. So this kind of celebration, and then he was the main MC that time. And then after the pledge service, everybody went to the Peace Center. So Peace Center, again, when you see how they built the stage, can you imagine? Yeah, in this is the Peace Center, and then they built a bridge here. That bridge, actually it came out, right? In the beginning there was no bridge. And then that bridge is a replica of the daily, they call it Daily Bridge, which is the bridge connecting the 2 hometowns of True Father and True Mother, Cheongju and Anju. So their ancestors built this bridge so that they can cross freely from one town to another. It's in the Daily River. So they built this bridge. So they highlighted this bridge. Tapos, ginawa nila na parang replica kung ano yung itsura ng bridge na yun, then they copied it. So it was very beautiful. You saw the video, very moving from the start. You know, when Sanjinim came out and then read the poem, especially written to commemorate through Father Songwa, it was very moving and then very touching. And then later on, Wonjo McDevitt, she read True Mother's letter to True Father. This letter was written by True Mother, and then it was read to us for the first time. Did you see already this letter? I think you have read it because it's already posted. And it was so moving. I will share to you the contents of this letter later on. And then the musical, it's so amazing. This musical, actually, you know why it's very different from the other musicals. Because Mother was directly involved. She was the one who directly guided, the one who is making the script. She is guiding. And also that's why the heart of True Mother, you can feel everywhere in the musical, right? So that's why they even use some of True Mother's words. Like for example, if you wrongly put the buttons and then you have to unbutton them again and put them together, all of this were put in the musical. And the most touching part actually there is that part wherein all of the singers and the performers, they represent all members. And then, during that time, the singer was singing very, like emotionally. And then it's like saying, I have used my youth. And then I have grown up. I have grown old. But my youth was spent together with true parents. And at that time, No, when they were singing, and then you can see all members, elder members, especially pioneers, they were really so much touched by this kind of musical. So it was somehow based on the testimony of some VIPs. They could understand the life of true parents. Even though very simple, very short, right? Compared to the other musical are very long. This one is just very quick, and then but full of heart, and then the story testifying about true parents' love, especially true parents' love for each other, true father and true mother's love for each other. And then one of the VIPs said, who attended ILC, I have never seen such a wife who loved her husband so much like this. Through this musical, they can understand the depth of true mother's love for true father. And so, this VIP, I heard during their dinner, like closing dinner, when he was relating about his experience in Peace Center, he was shedding tears. And then, he said he shed tears already in Peace Center. But when he was talking about what he saw at the musical, again, he was shedding tears. So this much, very powerful when you touch the original heart and the mind of VIP. So I feel this is great victory for true mother. Like it's a very natural way of testifying about the greatness of true parents' love. And then you know the highlight of this musical was what? Talking about what? The gift. You still remember? True Mother was talking about the gift which she prepared for 7 years. Normally, when you prepare gift, sometimes last minute, right? Yeah. For example, today is our anniversary. I don't have any gift for my wife. So sorry. But Mother said, I have been preparing this gift for 7 years. And then, I will offer this gift this February 2020. During the time when Father will become 100 years old. So 100 years, centenary, birth celebration of true Father. And the Mother said, I will offer this gift. But what is very touching about that, Mother said, even though I am the one who prepared this gift, now preparing for 7 years, I will not offer this gift alone. I want to offer this gift together with all of you, she said. So that was actually very touching. So that's why the contents of this musical was talking about this gift that Mother wanted to offer. And then another main highlight of this musical was the key. The key that went down. And then Mother said, I have found the key. Mother said, when Father left to the spirit world, Mother was left alone. As if she is in the darkness. She had to start all over again. She is like in the middle of the desert and cannot find anything. She cannot open her eyes because very strong wind in the desert. You know, if in the desert and there's strong wind, so the sand will enter your eyes. So Mother was looking for something, but she cannot open her eyes. So that kind of very difficult situation. She cannot even speak to members. She cannot even speak to even elders and leaders. She just carried everything by herself. And then she said, I found the key. I found the key. If you are watching the musical and taking notes, Mother said, 3 keys she have found. Finally, she have found the key. What is it? The words. The words. And then, this will complete the restoration. Why true parents are victorious. Mother said, I have found the key. Why true parents are victorious. Why everything is already in conclusion. Why Father, before going to the spirit world, He proclaimed, I am now concluding everything. So Mother said, I have found this key. What is it? The words, the life, and the love of true parents completed. This is the key that can open salvation for all humanity, Mother said. So it's like the key to the kingdom of heaven. So I have found the key to enter kingdom of heaven based on true parents' words, true parents' life, and true parents' love. So that is why this is like, you know, the conclusion of that musical. When it's like a revelation. This is the key. It's like, even though it is already there, many of us is still unstable in our faith, right? Looking here and there, you know, some kind of rumors come out, and then we're so affected, you know, some kind of difficulties in the true family, and then our faith is shaken. But Mother said, everything is already complete. The key to the kingdom of heaven is already here. And I am giving this to you, Mother said. So this is the words, and then life and the love of true parents. So this is actually very amazing. And then, at the end of the musical, you know, there is that part when Mother, in the beginning she was watching, sitting down, right? Part of the audience. And then later on, Mother crossed the bridge. She entered when the picture of true father was going down, and then Mother was emerging from the stage like this. And then Mother offered the flowers, assisted by two grandchildren, Shincho and Shino. So they are the sons of Hyojin. And they're still very young, right? But they got the looks and even the voice of Hyojin, right? And then Mother, as you saw in the IP's TV video report, she said, I am preparing them to become central figures in the future. I am raising them up directly, Mother said. So that's why even their blessing, Mother wants to already proclaim, right? 2020, they will be engaged, Mother said. And then, in the beginning, Mother said 2030, they will be blessed. And then later on, 2030. So 2020 engagement, and then 2030 will be the blessing. But then later on, Mother said, no. The blessing will be 2023, like this, and everybody clapping. And then many were saying, oh, at least they will not wait for 10 years. So otherwise, they were engaged and then they have to wait for 10 years. So they assisted your Mother going to the bridge. And then amazing, the daughter also of Yojinim and Yonanim, she is part of the orchestra that performed. And she was very good, right? In the beginning, I thought professional opera singer. And then when in the screen, they focused on her. I said, oh, that's the daughter of Yojinim. Very professional. She sings very well. She sang during that time. And then together with the orchestra, also very popular opera singer, tenor, Pol Pot, right? He sang also. He became already our regular performer. Pol Pot is very famous because of the, Britain's Got Talent. No? So he was discovered there. And then she is Seiko Lee. She's a blessed member. In the beginning, she is based in, New Jersey? The husband is one of the church leaders in New Jersey. Seiko Lee is the one who sang the theme song of 30,000 Couples, together with the Black brother. They sang the Eternal Love. So that song, Eternal Love, she was still very young that time. She received the blessing also that time, and then they sing during the congratulatory song. So now she is older than 27 years ago, but still the voice was very good. So she sang many times. She sang during the musical celebration at the Peace Center. And then she sang again during the victory celebration. So this is a colleague, so it was very beautiful. So this is when True Father's picture came out, and the True Mother there. So this is amazing. And then everybody sang together, song. And then Mother was also singing. Actually, the day before this event, August 16, we were asked to go to Peace Center to watch the rehearsal. And then Mother came to Peace Center. And then Mother opened there was an exhibit of all the events that took place in 2000, I think from Sanigal. No? And then so many events actually in that exhibit alone. You can see how Mother is so busy. Almost even like she will go to one country every month non-stop. Sometimes in 1 month, several countries. So Mother was so busy. And so during that time, Mother also watched the rehearsal. Tapos kasama si Mother na nag-rehearse kung saan sa maglalakad, saan sa pupunta. So kasama yung dalawang ako, and then Mother was even guiding them, like, you have to hold my hand like this, you know, how you will hold my hand. And then pati yung pag ganun, Mother was even guiding them, no? So she ganun palang ginagawa, kasama pala sa rehearsal si Mother. That time, we were so fortunate to watch the rehearsal. Kaya medyo napanood na namin yung nangyari. But of course, it's not yet full. Lights and sound and costumes were not yet, everything was there. So, but we already anticipated what will happen. Okay? So, you know, you're amazing. You know, even the video that during the musical, and then showing all the pioneers and all the missionaries, showing all the members what they are doing all over the world. And then suddenly, Kuya Jimmy's picture came out. Even my wife's picture came out. Yeah, then Dr. Young also, when we were praying at the Holy Ground, I think that was in Mindanao. We were praying at the Holy Ground. So all these pictures came out. That's why it's very moving, because it shows all members, you know, the dedication of all members, what they are doing all over the world. So this is really great musical, unforgettable. I hope we can watch again, you know, when we get the official documentation for this musical. It's very good to watch again this kind of musical. And so, lunchtime, we were all given these boxes, and then that time Sanjinim gave boxes of lunch. Actually, everybody thought that was snacks. Because fruits and cookies and, you know, the cake. So everybody thought that was snacks, but actually that's already lunch. And then Sanjinim gave to three or four representative families. That was, what's amazing about these families, 3 generations. 3 generations sila. No? So very beautiful Sanjinim. And then after that, everybody ate lunch. Walang uwian, because immediately after lunch, another continuation of the event took place. So that was the time when the former president of Nigeria, Jonathan Goodluck, he was the one who received True Father in Nigeria during the last tour of True Father in Africa. And then he was there. And then he is actually very powerful, even though he's not the president anymore. He is like the president of like the African like association, no? Some kind of association of African nations. So that's why he will be key figure also for the formation of the ISCP. What is ISCP? International Summit Council for Peace. This will be association of heads of states and former heads of states. So this already launched, and there will be grand assembly during the World Summit of this ISCP. So continuation that time, again, songs and performances and lectures. Actually, aside from Dr. Yun, our Secretary General, Director General, Dr. Yun, only three speakers. One is, of course, after Dr. Yu presented, next one was Dr. Yong. Very powerful. He spoke for around 18 minutes. But within that 18 minutes, I don't know how many times clapping. He has to stop because every time he speaks, and then people will clap. Because 20,000 audience, right? So really, he's like evangelist, you know. Dr. Yun called him our evangelist in the movement because very powerful. And then, so the title of his speech was "The Dreams of Heavenly Parents and True Parents Are Coming True in Asia Pacific." So that was the title of his speech. And then he talked about vision, he talked about dreams, he talked about substantial way of accomplishing our dream. And then he talks about importance of 10%, restoring 10%. And then he even gave example in the Roman Empire, how Christianity became the state religion and became influential in Roman Empire. He said the population of the Christians that time was even like less than 10%. But how come they can move the whole Roman Empire? How come they can influence the whole Roman Empire? So this is, Dr. Yong gave some examples, and then we can also do this to realize Chonil Book. No? Restoring 10% of the population is so important. So he emphasized that point. And then also Dr. Yong, after that, he proclaimed of also what we are going to do in Asia. Particularly, he talked about Cambodia event, which will be coming very soon, November 18 to 21, 2019, together with the government of Cambodia. Actually, 2 days from now, I will be going to Cambodia again, because the Cambodia government now is very serious. Very serious. They form a committee. The Cambodian government, they form a special committee. And they are working closely together with us. And the members of this committee are very intellectuals. Most of them studied in United Kingdom. They are very good in English, very young. No? And then they are working together with us, checking the program, checking the script, checking the minute by minute. As early as now, you know, in Nepal, maybe we were doing this like maybe 3 weeks before the event. But here, 3 months before the event, they're already checking us. So they're very serious about this. No? Ayaw nila na mapahiya yung Prime Minister nila, Hun Sen. Because Hun Sen is the one hosting this Asia Pacific Summit. So that's why they're very serious, checking all the details. So that's why, no? So Dr. Yong, talk about this Cambodia event, Asia Pacific Summit. True Mother will go. And then also, Dr. Yong proclaimed, which one? He proclaimed Philippine event, 1.2 million HTM assembly on November 2020. Wow! Wala nang puruman. Father heard everything. All our members around the world heard everything. And everybody already, some kind of excitement already members have. And then the UPF chairman of South America, during one of our event with True Mother, when we went to Chonjungu, he sat next to me. He said, "Wow, Philippines, 1.2 billion." Actually, this leader is very critical, especially very critical of Asia. However, I was surprised. You know what he said? 1.2 million. This is very, very exciting. This will become like, how do you call it? Like turning point of our movement. He said, and then I'm very happy about Dr. Young's presentation. Not only showing the vision, you're doing something in the Philippines. The plan is already set up. And then you're already preparing as early as now. This is amazing. You said, so that's why it makes us confident, because if other leaders, even critical leaders, feel some kind of hope na hindi lang pinoproclaim, ginagawa at nagpe-prepare na tayo, then something they really want this to become victorious, very successful. So that's why, ito na, pre-proclaim na ni Dr. Yong in front of everyone, not only at the Peace Center, all members, no, who are connected during that time, they saw this. And then Mother was also listening to all these proclamations. That's why alam na alam ni Mother yung 2030 vision, yung 2040 vision. That's why even Mother said, 2030, hindi galing sa akin yan, sabi niya. Mother said. But Mother is talking about 2028. Mother was talking about 2028. So this is the conclusion, very beautiful. Everybody sang Saranghe with all the candles. And then Mother is here in this VIP area. Mother never left. Even in the afternoon, Mother was watching everything that's taking place. And so when everybody were singing Saranghe with all the candles, and then Mother was waving her hands at them. So that was the conclusion of the August 17th, 7th anniversary of True Fathers Songwa ceremony. But next day, August 18, Chonolguk Leaders Assembly started. So this is the Asia Pacific team. So these are all the leaders under Dr. and Mrs. Yong. 40 countries all together. So all the 5 sub-regions, Southeast Asia, South Asia, and then Greater China region, and then Central Asia and Oceania region, all of them, all together. And I think this Chonolguk Leaders Assembly is why it's very great, because I can feel in the past, every time there is Chonolguk Leaders Assembly, I can testify some kind of spirit of too much competition. Too much competition ba na pag yung ibang regions, maganda yung report. Some regions, very critical. Yung ganun na feeling ba na parang ayaw nilang magpatalo, ganun ba? Na they're not happy when other regions are progressing. That kind of feeling maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Pero ngayon, ibang-iba ang atmosphere. Every time any country or any region reports about victory or development, everybody appreciates. You can see that everybody now supporting each other. No? Whether it's Africa, everybody applauding and cheering. And then report breakthrough in Europe, then everybody cheering and supporting. There is breakthrough in Japan, everybody supporting. So this kind of atmosphere. So that's why it's very beautiful. Like everybody supporting. And then also, before the report of each regional group chairman, all the leaders will perform. And then, when Korea, before the report of the Korean national leader, Reverend Lee Ki-sung, the Korean leaders stood up and then they sang Korean song. No? What is that? What is that song? Korean, the determination song. And then after that, Eve, Mother Nation, Japan, and then all the Japanese leaders stood up and then they sing another song. Wow, very powerful song. Also determination song. And then America, USA came out. They sing also, again, another song, the Generation of Righteousness. And the day of the light. So the American spirit, right? And then after that, which one next? Africa didn't report because they are very busy in Sao Tome. So Reverend Camara didn't come. So they didn't report. So next report was Europe. So Dr. Mike Barton. So again, singing, all the leaders sang again song. And then, when South America and Latin America came, also singing. Wow. When Asia Pacific last report came, dancing. So, At least, kasi pagod na yung mga tao, puro singing. Then finally, biglang sumayaw. K-pop pa. Actually, we practice for less than 1 hour. Less than 1 hour. So the day before August 17 ng gabi, after dinner, all the Asian Pacific leaders went to one room. And then nag-decide kami, anong sasayawin? Chicken dance. Chicken dance na lang, para everybody knows chicken dance, right? Pero later on, we feel chicken dance, parang nasayaw na natin yan noon pa, 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Iba naman. And then Brother Ronnie suggested, how about this one? And then pinanood namin, banana cha-cha. And then everybody reacted, mahirap yan. We cannot do it, that's difficult. And then Ronnie is very wise. He simplified the steps. And then after that, everybody start to dance, everybody follow. No exemption. Everybody followed, everybody danced. You can see even Eknan was dancing. He didn't practice. Suddenly he is there also following. So even people who didn't practice, all of us were there. And I saw some of them, even Tita Teresa. They were practicing at the side, with Tita Ahara. Everybody wants to unite. So that's why I really appreciate all the Asia Pacific leaders. Kumbaga, damay-damay naman. Damay-damay. So lahat sumayaw talaga. And then, but all the leaders appreciate very much. Especially, Yonaning. Yonaning was in front. And she was also dancing. She was sitting down but also following all the steps, everything. I think her children maybe likes that song. So she was following and then she was happy and smiling. So that's why, somehow, after that, Dr. Yong gave report, 15-minute report, all about our plan. Plan for Cambodia, plan for Malaysia, plan for Palau, and then also plan for Solomon Islands, plan for Thailand, and then Philippines is the last grand finale before the end of 2020. So that's why in this presentation, I want to show to you this. This slide is not Dr. Yong's slide. Whose slide is this? Whose PowerPoint? This is the PowerPoint of Director General Dr. Yun Yong Ho. During his report, he already included this in his report. And what is this? Sorry, Korean, so maybe some of you can read. This is talking about 1.2 million assembly in the Philippines. This one. This is 2020. And then he said, all these events, Cambodia event, this is November 2019. And the World Summit in February 2020 need to connect to the event in the Philippines for the 1.2 million assembly on November 2020. So he said, this is the time we can propose from Cambodia Asia Pacific Summit, we will propose the creation of Asia Pacific Union. Because European Union there is, African Union there is. No? But there is no Asia Pacific Union. We have APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Council, but Asia Pacific Union we don't have. So Dr. Yun said, we need to elevate the level of our summit. So we will propose during the Cambodia Summit, creation of Asia Pacific Union, and during the World Summit, we will have a special session in order to solidify the call for the support worldwide to create Asia Pacific Union. And then he said, and during the event in the Philippines, that will be the proclamation and the inauguration of this Asia Pacific Union, he said. So when I heard about this, at least Dr. Yun know part of his plan. master plan already include Philippine event. Kaya sigurado na yan. Aju? Sigurado na yan. Isinama na niya sa plano. So, during that report of Dr. Yun, he already, one by one, talked about what will happen in February 2020. So many events, unimaginable events. No? We will have the biggest blessing event, HJ Chonbo Blessing Event. How many couples? 6,000 matched couples. So already 12,000 people, right? 6,000 matched couples, first generation, second generation, plus PMC, blessing, and then at the same time, that will be the Chonbo, all the HTM, especially in Korea, they will bring their 43 couples. And then at the same time, all those who will register at Chonbo 1, accomplishers, will attend also as a couple. Like registration, Chonbo registration. And then at the same time, all those who have liberated their ancestors, up to 430 couples, this time they will attend ancestors' blessing also during that time. All in all, 100,000 people in Kintex blessing. So that this will be huge because Kintex is right at the the middle of Seoul, the urban Seoul. I don't know. I think it's in Gangnam, something. So this, and then if we do the blessing event there, you know the plan. After the blessing, group by group, they will go all over Seoul. Some groups they will go to this shopping center. Some groups they will go to this restaurant. Some groups go to this mall. Everywhere in Seoul. Nakadamit pang kasal, and it's like, we will shake the whole soul in Korea during that time. This will be huge. Sasadyain daw na hindi magpapalit ng damit. Wow. So that when they go to coffee shop, they go to restaurant, wow, it's like all the people will recognize, wow, unification movement is very much alive. Aju? Very much alive. Because we used to do this in the past. No? Yeah, malamig yan. It's winter, so good luck. Good luck to all of us. So, yeah. But this is the plan, grand plan. So, blessing pa lang yun. Blessing pa lang yun. World Summit will also be the biggest summit in our history. 10,000 VIPs. 10,000 international VIPs. Asia Pacific alone, 1,200 international VIPs. Asia Pacific pa lang, kulang na ang isang hotel. You can imagine, we will occupy one hotel just for Asia Pacific. And then all of these 10,000 VIPs come together, also in Kintex, plus other Korean and Japanese VIPs, and then it will be a huge gathering, huge event. So opening plenary, and then we expect around 300 heads of states and former heads of states. So please pray that we can send many, especially from the Philippines this time. This is best preparation for our 1.2 billion assembly. We need to find really even John Baptist who can really support us in our 1.2 billion assembly. And then, during the Channel Book Leaders Assembly, next day was the report from UPF and also report from Dr. Yun, the strategy, overall strategy, what will happen in 2020. Actually, marami pa yun. But I couldn't get the material. Kasi sabi nila from IHQ, this is still confidential. So they did not distribute to us. Because, these are all plans. But he said it's still to be updated. So that's why they did not distribute it. It's still for finalization. There will be IAPD assembly, there will be IAPD assembly, there will be ISCP inauguration, there will also be launching of IAAP, IAAP, International Association of Academicians for Peace. And then there is also, what is that? International Association for like peace and development, something like a business sector. So in the video, you saw one of the very famous businessman and a Jim Rogers. So also, he already accepted the chairmanship of this group. So there will be also International Media Association for Peace, IMAP. So all of this will be launched during the World Summit in 2020. So this is the victory celebration and closing program of the Channel Cook Leaders Assembly. Pinagsama. So ito na rin yung pinaka-victory celebration ng lahat ng events. And so Mother went to the Chong-A camp. So now the name of Chong-A camp was changed. Ano na siya ngayon? HJ Youth Center, something like that. The Cultural Foundation. HJ Cultural Foundation. So it was renovated. Wow, ang galing. The Chong-A camp was fully renovated. Lumaki yung kanilang coffee shop. 2 stories na yung coffee shop. And then now they have even like broadcasting rooms there for recording, broadcasting, even Tongel Modo headquarters is there, Dojang is there. So it now become like center of culture. So it was fully renovated and developed. Even itong gymnasium na to, dati ng Chong-A, fully carpeted. So this is the one we used during the closing program. And then Mother was there, as you can see. Wow, Mother was very happy, right? Very happy. Mother felt some kind of liberation. And then especially, so this is when Mother arrived, and then the 2 grandchildren, Shinchul and Shinho, they offered the flowers, and then Mother gave her speech. Before that, gifts were presented by Sanjini Maninsong to True Mother. A gift was presented symbolizing Father Nation and Mother Nation, representative of Korea and Japan, and then offered to True Mother. And then also all the regional group chairman. So he is Europe group chairman, he is Japan, Korea, USA, Asia Pacific, Latin America, South America, and Africa. So they offered gift representing all the regional group offered to True Mother. And then Yun Yung Ho, this is the time he gave his report also, overall report and the master plan for February 2020. And then True Mother gave her speech. Actually, in her speech, you saw a portion of it, right? In True Mother's speech. In the beginning, Mother was very serious in the beginning. Mother was very serious. I would like to read portions of it during the closing program. And then she started by saying that, now you are blessed leaders, beaming with resolve and confidence. I can see that, Mother said. Especially in that time, True Mother mentioned Dr. Yong. True Mother mentioned Dr. Yong, the confidence to bring victory. Dream will come true, like this. And then Mother mentioned, and even our regional group chairman, Dr. Yong, mentioned about 2030 vision. Then Mother said, I didn't say that. Mother said like that, based on the translation. But Mother appreciates that kind of forward-looking vision in the future. And then Mother reminded everybody, 2020 is a pledge I made before Heavenly Parent and to True Father. So that's why Mother is very serious about 2020. And then Mother started to talk again about God, the original ideal of creation. And then she mentioned that humanity, Adam and Eve, should go through the period of growth. But then, because of the fall, all of this did not happen. And so, what happened is, humanity became very far from God. The identity of God humanity lost that concept of the real identity of God. So this is what Mother said. That God is our parent, heavenly parent. We lost that. Humanity lost that, Mother said. So, and then she said, until now, the idea of God is limited. Isn't it? No? The concept of God, even until now, is very unclear. The concept of God, Christianity's concept of God, not so clear. And then she said, in the final chapter of history, the concept of the second coming should be clear. And not only that, Mother said, the concept of the advent of true parents should be very clear. This is what Mother said in her speech. Because, of course, everybody knows, especially Christian foundation, everybody knows second coming, right? Everybody anticipates second coming. However, it's not very clear about second advent, especially the advent of true parents. That's why the concept of Messiah is not very clear, Mother said. And then she said, 2020 will be the 60th anniversary of what? 60th anniversary of true parents' emergence on the earth. The holy blessing, holy wedding of true father and true mother took place in 1960. So 2020 will be 60 years. And then Mother said, even though true parents emerged in 1960, it took 7 years more before God's Day was proclaimed, 1968, right? So after 7-year course, and then 1968, January 1, God's Day was proclaimed. Mother said it should not be like that. During the emergence of true parents, that should also have been Heavenly Parents' Day, Mother said. But it didn't happen that way. Mother said, I am sorry to Heavenly Parents. So this time, this coming 2020, we will celebrate also 60th anniversary of Heavenly Parents' Day. Mother said, she proclaimed. So I don't know yet what she wanted to do to combine True Parents' Day and Heavenly Parents' Day, but she said we will celebrate 60th Heavenly Parents' Day. This is what Mother said. And then, so Mother talked about Christian history, and then how through the blessing, if anyone who accept the blessing and become a blessed family, then humanity will have hope. Mother said, there is no hope for humanity except through the blessing. Aju? So that means anyone who receives the blessing and become a blessed family, then they can find hope, Mother said. She emphasized about giving hope to all the 7.6 billion people of the world. And then she said, this is very important. Mother said, heaven has worked hard in order to raise up righteous people. She said, why suddenly now some VIPs just come out and offer themselves? One example is that Jim Rogers. He is well known in the field of business, worldwide investment. No? He is like a guru when it comes to businesses. And then suddenly he accepted to become the chairman of this international business association that we will put up. And then, not only that, there is one very famous clergy in America, Las Vegas. His name is Noel Jones. This Noel Jones, in the past, is a persecutor of our movement. He don't like our movement, Unification Church. But he is very famous. He is the leader of a mega church in California, especially in Los Angeles. And then suddenly, he was just invited in one of our youth event. And then when he saw the passion, and the unity of all our youth members, and that determination, dedication, something moved him. He said, I cannot find this anymore in the young people in America. This kind of passion in the youth, I cannot find anymore. So, nag-isip siya, sabi niya, so, this unification movement is not bad at all. So from that time on, his concept of our movement changed. And then, when Mother went to America, he invited through Mother to speak in his congregation. Around 10,000 people gathered. And then Mother proclaimed, I am God's only begotten daughter. And then this Noble Jones accepted. First time I heard about this teaching, because in the Bible, where can you find God's only begotten daughter? But this is very clear. If there is God's only begotten Son, there should also be God's only begotten daughter. So totally, he accepted through Mother's proclamation. And then, this time, they are preparing again for a big rally. So centering on him and ACLC in America, they will establish this coming December the World Clergy Leadership Conference. Wow. So, things happening like this. How about Prophet Radebe from South Africa? The first time I saw him, he doesn't look like a religious leader. Naka-rubber shoes, naka-maho. Parang malala. But wow, in South Africa, they call him prophet. He is a leader of a big church. No? A Christian church in South Africa. A spiritual movement in Africa. And he is phenomenal. Kumbaga, biglang dumami yung membership niya. And then, he just attended one of our events. He was invited by True Mother. He went to Chonjoku. And then right there, Mother won his heart. He said, he pledged in front of Mother, you are my true mother. You are the mother of the world. And so, in South Africa, they have a blessing of 80,000 people. And then, he is the only one who organized all of this. These are all his members. And then Mother also proclaimed there, I am God's only begotten daughter, and have blessing, big blessing event in South Africa. And then they proclaimed, their church is Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Wow. Many things happening like this. Mother said, why Mother is so happy? She felt liberated. Because in the past, when she decided to go to Senegal, in Africa, Senegal, our movement there is not so big. We don't have much foundation in Senegal. It is a Muslim country, not so rich African country. But Mother decided, I will go there. And some elders and leaders, they discouraged Mother, please don't go there. Parang waste of time na. Parang ganon. But Mother, she went to Senegal, and then centering on the president of Senegal, Macky Sall. And then they have the African Summit, the first African Summit. And then based on that victory in Senegal, they have events in Zimbabwe, and then more and more becoming bigger and bigger, and then finally, they have this South Africa event. Very soon, September 5, is it September 5, September 6? Sao Tome, that's why Dr. Kittle is there. Some of our Philippine Tonggal Mudo are there, five of them are there, helping. So, another event in Africa, and then another event this December in Africa, bigger blessing event. Mother felt like, I am liberated. My decision to go to Senegal opened the way. Finally, Mother can declare Heavenly Africa, and then Heavenly Europe, and then Heavenly America. No? All. And then finally, conclusion was in Nepal. Asia Pacific Summit, Nepal, Mother proclaimed Heavenly Asia Pacific. And then Mother proclaimed, when she came back to Korea, she proclaimed Heavenly World. So now, Mother felt, if you just unite with me, miracles will happen. She proclaimed like that, and now nobody can argue. all these miracles taking place, really so amazing. So you can see here, Mother was talking. Because already everybody prepared to offer kyombe. Parang tapos na ba? And then Mother suddenly said, oh, sorry, I forgot something. And then Mother, that was the time Mother announced about the engagement of grandchildren. That's why you can see here, Yonanim was very happy because Mother talked about the era of the third generation. This is now the era of third generation. In the Philippines, we don't have many third generation yet. But in Korea, already Mother proclaimed the beginning of the era of third generation. And then, so it's like all of us, my reflection, all of us need to have some kind of connection with the pure heart of the third generation. We need to have leap of heart. Like, if our heart is still first generation, we need to have like not only leap of faith, leap of heart, that kind of heart. No? Total, absolute obedience and unity with true parents. And then Mother, she said, the second generation, she said fail. Already Mother proclaimed. So, second generation, it's like they lost their opportunity. So now, Mother said, she's referring to the true family. Mother said, I will focus on raising the third generation in the true family myself. She said, that's why by 2028, Mother said 2028, until my grandchildren, this especially, until they become 40 years old, until they become mature, and then they will become central figures of our movement. Already Mother proclaimed like this. And so that's why Mother said, so from now, I will still be in the front line and lead the Providence. So I need to be healthy until they become 40 years old. Mother said. So everybody were clapping because Mother needs to live long. Years, right? Because they're still very young. I think some of them are only maybe like 14 years old, 15 years old. No? So that's why Mother needs to live longer in order for them to reach 40 years old. So that's why Mother is very serious about stabilizing everything. She mentioned about 5 organs in our movement. What are these 5 organs in our movement? She's talking about the Supreme Council, and then the one in charge of all our properties. No? And then also, this is John Jae-won. And then, all the other organs, in charge of education, in charge of, like external side. And then Mother said, from 2020, I will appoint the head of all of these 5 main organs in our movement. And from 2020, especially after February, Mother said, they will substantially operate. Because now, actually, we are not yet operating based on this system. And then Mother said, Cheonggyeonggu will become the official residence of true parents. Only true parents will stay there, even when they go to the spirit world. But the Cheonggye Sonhap one, which now Mother calls Cheonwon-gu, the one we are building, the big one. Mother said this will be the central place for the governance of Cheonwon-gu. So I don't know, maybe executive department will be there, even like legislative department will be there. Wow. Then already Mother have this very clear plan, what she would want to do. And then everything need to be stable, need to be stabilized before she go to the spirit world. This is the amazing heart of our true Mother. So during that victory celebration, again, secondly and some second generation performed, and this is very powerful dance from the global Top Gun participants, GTGY. So all of them dance all together, hanggang doon sa taas, everywhere. Very powerful dance. That's why even they have to dance 2 times, repeat the same performance. because mother likes it very much. So this is now the very important time. And then after this event, we thought already finished. But mother invited some selected leaders to join her at the Chonjonggu. So we went to Chonjonggu, only 70 leaders went up there. And then right after, this is after lunch, so we went there, and then mother listened to testimonies, reflection. So some leaders, actually, Dr. Yun said, we are not prepared. This is not part of the program, but suddenly mother wanted to invite some leaders. So even the program is not clear. So just suddenly Dr. Yun started to call some representatives to give their reflection. And so Tom McDevitt gave his reflection, and then who else? Ki-Hun Kim, Bishop Ki-Hun Kim also gave his reflection, and then one woman leader from Korea gave her reflection, and then who else? Dong Ho-Shin from South America, and then there's one second generation from Korea who also gave reflection, and then Dr. Waltz actually already finished. Wonjo McDevitt also gave her reflection. And then after that, supposed to be finished. And then mother said, Dr. Walsh. So Dr. Walsh gave his reflection also. And then I really liked the reflection of Dr. Walsh. She said, watching everything unfolding, centering on true mother. My feeling, Dr. Walsh said, I am just like a peanut in front of true mother. Peanut. I am just a peanut in front of mother. Because even him, he cannot imagine what true mother is accomplishing. Feeling natin, pagod na tayo. Feeling natin, ang dami na natin ginagawa. But when we look at the magnitude of what mother is accomplishing, looks like what we're doing is nothing. So that was the feeling of Dr. Walsh. So that's why all appreciation he gave to true mother, and really very artistic, he offered his reflection. And then mother, during that time, she said, I want to develop Sun Moon University. Especially, she mentioned this one. I want to merge UPA, you know, the Sonhat Universal Peace Academy. Mother said, I want to merge UPA with Sun Moon University. And then bring all our experts from America, like Dr. Wilson, Dr. Hendricks. Everybody need to support Sun Moon University. Even Dr. Waltz. He said, all your expertise, you need to transfer to our younger generation. So mother already she said, I will create a committee to research how to make Sun Moon University become the National University of Chonilgu. Wow. So mother has that grand vision. And then finally, now mother gave the closing words. She said, from now on, we need to have clear conviction. Not only conviction. I reflected on what mother said. Not only conviction. Kasi kung minsan, especially for us Filipinos, may conviction tayo, yes. Right? Madali tayong mag-unite. We will say, yes! But not clear. How to do? Bahala na. Right? Bahala na. But mother said, we need to have clear conviction. That means, conviction with a plan. Aju? Conviction with a plan how to accomplish. Hindi lang we want to do, but when asked how to do, we don't know. Clear conviction, mother said. And then she said, let us make miracles together. Wow, very powerful, right? Let us make miracles together. She is like, she is the Messiah. When Jesus performed the miracles, everyone were like only spectators. Right? When they saw Jesus perform miracles, it's like they're watching some kind of a show. Wow, amazing. Wow, amazing. It's like Mother is telling us, do not become only spectators of these miracles. When Mother did something like this, everybody, wow, amazing, Mother did like that. Wow, it happened in Africa, amazing. It happened in US, wow. We should not become like that. Mother clearly said, let us make miracles together. Aju? This is actually very powerful. We can make miracles in your HTM area, in your witnessing. No? In whatever mission that we do, we need to make miracles together. Aju? And then Mother said, let us make people come to us, not us going to them. Mother said, she had this kind of absolute faith. Let us make people come to us, not us going to them. And then she talked about pyramids. She gave an example. You know how the pyramids of Egypt were built, Mother said. One stone. Diba? These are huge stones. Pinagpatong-patong nila, diba? And then how come, Mother said, this is like miracle, unthinkable. How they can build pyramids so precise. Even the stones are very heavy, even more than 100 times heavier than one person. How they can carry and put together using manual. And then, they don't have cement yet that time. Walang cement no? How come, until this time, still this pyramids still exists? This is miracle, Mother said. And so, while she was talking about the pyramid, she said, what we are doing is the same. Looks like impossible. Right? Looks like impossible. Looks like it cannot be done. But she said, 1,000 years later, 2,000 years later, what we can do now, everybody will appreciate. And then they will recognize what you have done. So this is like the parting words of True Mother when we concluded. And then she said, like giving us push, you have to remember that you are all children of God. And so that's why you need to support God's plan in the highest level. Aju? This is what Mother said. So let's think beyond just our own individual responsibility and mission, just beyond our own family. Let's think of what Mother's doing now. This is now, how many months now before February 2020? So now it's almost end of August, September, October, November, December, January. Only like around 5 months to go. Within these 5 months, still many miracles can take place. Aju? There are many other events that took place. I will just show to you quickly. ILC, International Leadership Conference. Mrs. Kittle was there, Dr. Kittle was there. This is very amazing. Only around 120 VIPs. Not so many. However, what made this ILC very different? It became a consultation, discussion, meeting to prepare for the World Summit. So lahat ng mga involved sa business, they have their own sessions. Religious, governments, former heads of states, they have their own sessions. Tapos ang pinag-uusapan nila, how to make the World Summit successful. That's why yung mga nag-attend the VIPs, higher level, they feel they are owners of the conference, of the summit. Hindi lang sila participants. So that's why during this time, it's really amazing. Speaker de Venecia, Mrs. de Venecia, were there. They are part of the welcoming during the welcome banquet. And then, of course, Dr. Walls and all the other leaders were there. Sun Jining also gave the keynote message. And Mrs. de Venecia also. I think this is during the welcome. Is it welcome dinner? She gave one of the messages. This is very powerful person in Cambodia. He looks very simple guy, but he is a general in Cambodia. General. Pag sinabing general sa Cambodia, because they were dictatorship, they were communists before, right? Socialists. So itong mga generals ito yung mga inner circle. And he is very part of the inner circle of the Prime Minister. Sosiara, his name is Yara. Yara is his family name. That's why we call him Susiana. He called JDV as his father. Very close, artistically, with Speaker De Venecia. That's why anything Speaker De Venecia asked him, he followed. Because he said, "How? I always need to follow my father." He calls JDV as his father because he is also involved in the ICAP, the International Conference of Association of Political Parties. And he is also MP, member of the parliament. Because of him, we could arrange the meeting with Prime Minister Hun Sen. And so when Prime Minister Hun Sen agreed to all our requests, hosting the Asia Pacific Summit, and then Phnom-Penh, and then doing the conference in the government facility, in the Peace Palace. In Cambodia, they also have their Peace Palace, built by Hun Sen. And then, sabi niya, you need to do the conference in the Peace Palace. So we will use government facility. And then, he is the main person appointed by Prime Minister to form the working committee. So that's why all those committee members, part of the Cambodian government, under him, he is the one who formed. And then we already have 2 meetings. Very soon, we will have another meeting with him. And so, they are very serious about this Asia Pacific Summit. So anyway, this is ILC, very preparation for the World Summit. Peace Road also, they concluded at the Chonjong-gu, and then offered flowers to True Mother. So this is also very beautiful. The conclusion of the Peace Road in Japan and Korea is at the Chonjong-gu. And then we also have a special workshop for newly appointed leaders. Not so many of us, I think only around 18 people, especially in Asia Pacific. I need to attend. And then also Santosh is there, and then of course our LA, Reverend LA is there, all the other newly appointed leaders. These are only Asia Pacific. We went to Chonbowon, and then we have the special workshop. This is the appointment ceremony. Supposed to be the appointment ceremony was during the opening program of Chonilguk Assembly, Leaders Assembly. Pero hindi natuloy because of the schedule of True Mother. So, ginawa na lang unofficially, doon lang sa by among ourselves. And there is also a special workshop conducted by Mrs. Yong Samuning. She conducted a special lecture for the wives of sub-regional directors. So, ano lang siya, special seminar, especially on attendance. Particularly, it's a lecture on attendance. So, I would like to conclude with this. I'm sure you already have read it. Let us read it one more time. This is the letter written by True Mother for True Father on the occasion of the 7th Songwa anniversary of True Father. Mother said, "On this day we particularly long for you. Beloved Father, how we miss you. Father, you are always with us. It is already 7 years since your holy ascension to the heavenly realms. There is no place in heaven and earth untouched by your sweat and tears. On this day, we particularly long for you. Father, 1 year before your ascension, even though you were more than 90 years of age, you visited the United States 8 times, refusing to care for your health. You invested yourself completely for the sake of the world and for humanity. The words you said, Mother, once we finish this task and there's little else to do, then let us take short break, never came true on earth in the end. Father, you work day and night, and since I lived my life in attendance to you, I did not sleep more than 3 hours a night throughout my life." You know, when I heard about this, I was very moved because sometimes, you know, Father loves Mother so much. Siguro nakikita rin ni Father how Mother is going through difficulties, following the schedule of True Father. And then until true father is already more than 90 years old, still non-stop going many places. And then, father promised to true mother. Sabi niya, no? Mother, once we finish this task, pag natapos na natin yung ginagawa natin, and then there is little, sabi niya, if there is little else to do, let's have a short break. Parang sinasabi niya na, pwede tayong magpahinga kahit konti. But mother said, it never happened until the end. No? Some kind of feelings of, no? But father is trying to show his concern also for true mother. But mother said, it never happened until last minute. During the sweltering summer of 2012, you were hospitalized for the final time. But even then, you rebuked those who recommended you to stay in hospital, saying, there is still so much to do. Why are you spending so much time at the hospital? You then hastened to return to Cheonggyeong-gu. You instructed today, set the table for two with mother facing me. Hearing you say this, the members were very puzzled because you always sat by my side for meals. So normally, when they are eating together, they sit side by side. But particularly that day, Father gave instruction. Prepare the table for us and let mother sit in front of me. So some kind of very strange for those who are attending to parents. Although the lunch table had been set, Father, you did not once lift your spoon. Instead, all you did was gaze into my face. Father, I think that you were most likely engraving my face in your heart. And then mother said, I smiled, place a spoon in your hand and some side dishes on your rice. Then I continued to gaze at you as you ate. Father, I also engraved your face in my heart. It is what mother said. No? It's a very special moment when it's like father was looking strangely at true mother, not eating, as if trying to remember the face of true mother. This is already father felt like any time he will go to the spiritual world. And then mother also said, that time I'm also engraving your face in my heart, mother said. And then, this is continuation of the letter. Mother said, the day when the rays of the sun were particularly strong, you carried an oxygen tank the size of a full-grown person and toured the Cheonggyeong area, beginning with the Cheongshin International Middle and High School. Then, after returning to Cheonggyeong-gu, you prayed, Heaven, please give your blessing. I beseech you to allow me to conclude things. Then you requested that a voice recorder be brought. You offered your last prayer with me, saying, I have completed the mission of the providence of restoration. That was the last recorded prayer of True Father. You can read that in Cheonggyeong, the last page of Cheonggyeong. And then, in that prayer, Father also mentioned about the mission of tribal messiahship. She said, if all the families can, like they can reach the level that their names can be recognized and fulfill the mission as heavenly tribal messiahs, then everything will come to a conclusion. That was part of the prayer of True Father. Mother, thank you. Mother, take good care of everything. Continuation of the letter. Then you said, Mother, thank you. Mother, take good care of everything. Father, despite the difficulty of your condition, you kept saying, I am so sorry and so grateful. I held your hand more firmly and looking at you gently with a soothing voice, I put you at ease. Do not worry about anything. Father, you then return to Heavenly Parents' bosom, and you are resting in Bonyangwon at the foot of Mount Chongsong. Father, following your holy ascension, I came to Bonyangwon at dawn every day, non-stop. As long as Mother is in Korea, Mother will always go to the Bonyangwon and offer prayer early morning. Whether it's raining, snow, no, it doesn't matter. There were countless excuses or reasons why I might have rested and not visited you. But whether it snowed abundantly in the winter or rained torrentially in the fall, I came to Bonyangwon each day in those early morning hours. For 40 days after you ascended, I offered you breakfast and dinner. 40 days continuously offering breakfast and dinner. When I miss you, which was on numerous occasions, I came to Bonyangwon and talked with you. Through these conversations, your thoughts became my thoughts, and my thoughts became yours. Whether the sun beat down, the wind blew, or thunder and lightning suddenly struck and torrential rain poured down, or whether snow blanketed the land for 1,095 days following your ascension, I carried an offering my devotions in remembrance of you. This is the condition, 3 years, Chongsong condition offered by True Mother. Who among us offered this kind of lengthy condition? Maybe some of us offered 40 days condition. But Mother offered 3 years of offering devotion to True Father. The very amazing love of True Mother for True Father. I also retraced the 5,600 kilometers you traveled from Las Vegas to New York in the United States in the 1970s. I climbed the 12 mountains we had climbed together in the Alps. Then I resolved to fulfill the promise I made you to return to the spirit of the early days of the church and revive the church in the spirit and the truth. Then, on the 3rd anniversary of your holy ascension, I beseech you to freely ascend to the eternal Bonyangwon to attend and comfort Heavenly Parent who had been lonely until then, and to be free from all burdens. Then, for you, Father, and for Heavenly Parent, I resolve to succeed in the restoration of 7 nations by 2020. This is the determination of True Mother. You still remember that time? 3rd anniversary. And then during Mother's message at the celebration at the Peace Center, Mother said, please freely go to the eternal world. Don't worry about us. We will continue. This is what Mother speaks during that time. After the 3 years period of devotion that Mother offered. And then, this is the determination of True Mother. I would fulfill this without fail. East to west, south to north, I ran with all my might, seeking to embrace the world. My mouth was sore. My legs were swollen. I could barely stand, yet I could not rest. This was because, however difficult realizing the will may be, I had to keep the promise I had made to you that I would conclude everything within my lifetime. I live each day reaffirming my resolve that I would fulfill this without fail, and that to do so, I shall not change. Every time I desperately miss you, I look to the moon for companionship and spoke with it, reminding myself of the promise I had made to you as I stood before your holy body. I will firmly establish Chon El Gu by the time I ascend. Living this way, 7 years has already passed since your holy ascension. This is the determination of our beloved True Mother. Aju, why don't we give a big hand to our True Mother? And then Mother concluded. She said, Father, you know, don't you? Following your ascension, I felt lost for words. In a position where I was the only one remaining. My heart felt as if I were in a vast desert in the midst of a sandstorm, having to find a needle, yet unable to open my eyes. Nonetheless, I found it. I had to find it. And then Mother, in her letter, she said, my resolve to absolutely restore 7 nations by 2020. My resolve to register all blessed families in Chonbowon as heavenly tribal messiahs. These are my gifts to you, Father. I pray that this gift, your life of Kyojong for Heavenly Parent, can shine rays of hope throughout the world. And then she ended her letter, Father, I love you. Father, I love you. Abunim, salamhamnida. Abunim, salamhamnida. Very beautiful, right? So this is the letter of our true mother. Aju, please keep this in your hearts. Every time you have difficulties, every time you have problems, and you don't like to move forward anymore, try to read this letter. I'm sure you will get revived and get more power and energy. Aju? So, this is our conclusion, brothers and sisters. With this, let all these events that happen in the 7th Solemn Anniversary of True Father really re-energize us. Let us refocus and let us continue our commitment. From this time, all of us, we have to remember, Mother will not offer the gift by herself. The gift she wanted to offer to True Father in February 2020, when Father will be 100 years old, centenary of the birth of True Father, Mother said, I want to offer this together with you. So let's do our best. Kamsahamnida. True parents, thank you very much. Please stand, and I would like to conclude with a prayer. Sarangasutin halal pumani, tanjin champumani. With all our hearts, we really want to offer our deepest gratitude to our Heavenly Parents for giving us our beloved true Father and true Mother, who in 1960, through the Holy Marriage Blessing Ceremony, amidst all the difficulties and challenges, finally our true parents can emerge victoriously in this physical world. We are eternally grateful for we can meet our true parents. That even though we are unworthy sons and daughters, even though we are not qualified, it is through the grace and the chomso, the hard work of our true parents, that we were qualified. We are eternally grateful for all the sacrifices of our true Father, who have laid all conditions of victory before ascending into the spirit world. And now, with the determination of our true Mother to absolutely complete everything while she is on this earth. This gives us a lot of hope, but at the same time, we feel so sorry that we cannot have the same heart and determination like our true Mother. Please, let us become your sons and daughters, filial children, who can absolutely unite with our true Mother, so that when the time comes when we welcome the centenary of our beloved true Father's birth, 100 years, we can celebrate together. We can offer this gift together, and we can victoriously proclaim together substantial Chondengu. So please guide all our elders, brothers and sisters, our blessed families, tribal messiahs, all of us who are here. Please let us become owners so that in whatever mission, whatever responsibility you have entrusted to us, we can connect everything to the central providence that our true mother is leading us as of this time. We really want to offer substantial victory to our true parents. Let this coming centenary of our true father become a victorious celebration for the whole world, for all the 7.6 billion people of this world. And let our preparation for the 1.2 million HTM assembly, our grand offering to conclude the year 2020, can truly become a miraculous event that will become the turning point, Heavenly Parents, for the providence centering on our true parents, our true father in the spirit world, our true mother in the spirit world, can really substantially bring all the 7.6 billion people into salvation, Heavenly Parents. So please guide us. All our brothers and sisters are working hard, doing HTM, blessing everywhere, taking ownership, taking responsibility as Heavenly Tribal Messiahs. All our members who are continuously proclaiming and expanding the realm of Chattanooga through all our providential organizations. Please empower them, guide them, so that we all together can really bring substantial miracles, Heavenly Parents, that we can offer together to our beloved true mother, as we offer together this gift to our beloved Heavenly Parent, to our beloved true Father. Thank you so much, Heavenly Parents. May your blessings and protection be upon us all. We pray for the members of the 30,000 couples, 360,000 couples, families, as they celebrate their blessing anniversary. Please be with them, guide them, and let them become more successful in their mission and responsibilities, especially as Heavenly Tribal Messiahs. I report this prayer in the name of Julius and Agri Central Blessed Family, Jude. Thank you very much.
Let us give our big round of applause to our Sub-Regional Director for this very inspiring message. Once again, brothers and sisters, let's give our big round of applause. Thank you very much, Dr. Julius Malikan, for that truly inspiring message. Please take your seat. And maybe most of us also watch this live webcast last time, right? Last August 17, but I think today we could understand more deeply, especially the heart of our beloved true mother, right? Also because of the letter of true mother, we can really see really the one that really loves Father the most is actually our beloved true mother, right? You're saying you love our true Father, but really our true mother. And then that's why without fail, true mother wants to fulfill her promise to Heavenly Parents and our beloved true Father. And true mother wants also to bring all of us. That's why true mother made a firm resolve that without fail, she was going to accomplish her promise together with all of us, especially our blessed central families. Aju? So once again, let's also give a big hand to our beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents, our true mother who's really taking the lead in the providence on earth. Yeah, also, we could see, also the goal in the Philippines of 1.2 million that was already proclaimed to the whole world, right? That's why we, as true mother, also made her resolve. Also, as national families, as Filipino members, this is also the time for us to really make our resolve that without fail, we will going to accomplish this 1.2 million. Aju? Yes, I am very thankful today. We have many blessed families who came. So later, I hope we can really also determine to really join together and really make this 1.2 million really a great offering for our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Aju? Thank you once again, brothers and sisters. So now we will going to have the offertory song. Let's sing Holy Song number 10. My offering.
Father, how your heart is filled.
For the offertory prayer, I would like to invite our Ate Shirley Vergara.
Please stand up. Let's pray. Sana na siya. Kanal mo. Today, Heavenly Parents, we are deeply grateful for the love that we receive and from the words, from the life that we experience today, from your message through our central preacher. Since we celebrated our true father's Songwa ceremony, we truly feel we really miss our father so much. We miss his voice. His guidance. And most of all, his love towards every one of us. Our true parents has given us life, love, works, and a true lineage, Heavenly Parents. All these things that we receive from them are truly an amazing blessing and grace that come from the sweat and blood and tears of our Father himself, who himself shed so much blood, tears, and sweat for each every one of us to receive such amazing love and grace from our dear beloved Heavenly Parents. Thank you, Heavenly Parents, for all the conditions and foundation that our true parents have laid for us. And after our true Father has completed, concluded, and perfected the providence of restoration, he went to the spirit world with this kind of heart, giving us the most precious gift for all our blessed couples and blessed families, that we can really fulfill the gift that our true mother wants to give this coming Foundation Day. And that is, Father, how we can achieve, how we can conclude, how we can complete and perfect it, also our Heavenly Tribal Messiah. How we can be able to fulfill our 430 couples, and how we can really bless our 430 ancestors' liberation and blessing. This is the most precious gift that our true Father wants to give to us. And our true Mother wants to offer is a 7 nation that we can really achieve for your providence. Thank you for our true Mother, the only begotten daughter of God, knowing all this world, feeling alone, Father, in the middle of this earth. Thank you for sending our true Mother to us. I pray all her efforts we can really compensate and we can fully comfort our beloved true Mother this time by offering together with her on the Foundation Day, on your 100th year birthday, heavenly parents, I pray that we can really work together this time in fulfilling your will. And truly, we can find and we can restore this nation to you. A model barangay, a model town and a model city, a model province and a model nation, whom we can offer to our forefathers 100 years birthday. Thank you for everything and all the blessings that we received today. Thank you for our true mother, who is really working so hard. Even Father, sometimes, her mother in a hard condition, but still, she moved forward. I pray that we can also do same heart with our true mother every day in our life. As we gather here together as blessed couples, as blessed families, as brothers and sisters, as first generation and as second generation, Father, we are offering to you everything. And I pray that the promise and declaration of our central figure, especially our Dr. Young, our Chung Lim, we can be one with his heart, one with his vision, together with our Asia leaders. I pray that we can support and we can do our best to truly fulfill the Vision 2020 conclusion by bringing the 1.2 million, Father, on November on 2020. So I pray that from now on, we can really work together, support each other, and truly find, Father, the way on how we can support, how we can really work together and blessing the 1.2 million in this country as our offering to our true parents, as our offering to our heavenly parents. As we offered also this morning the 1 week hard works of our brothers and sisters, please receive these small and humble offerings that we have today. And that, Father, I pray that this can really be used for your providence of restoration, to hasten, Father, the providence of this nation. Thank you for your love. I pray that you can continue to guide our leaders here, our brothers and sisters here, our blessed couples, and that, Father, we can unite together our hearts, our minds, and our will and our vision together to really accomplish, Father, your wishes, your hopes for this world and for this nation. Please receive our prayers and offering as we want to offer before this in our name. She mentioned the Mandela President Family
Thank you very much, Shirley. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for your offering. Please take your seat. So now we will also going to celebrate this very special day for our elder blessed families. Those are celebrating their 24th and 27th anniversary because, actually this is truly special because the blessing of 30,000 and 360,000 couples truly like a turning point also in the legacy of true parents of the blessing. It brought the blessing to the global scale actually with this 30,000, especially the 360,000 couples. So we are also truly grateful to also all our elder blessed families for their dedication and hard work and really becoming a model for us younger blessed families. So I would like to invite in front all our 30,000 and 360,000 couples for our simple celebration. So we're going to have cake cutting and then we're going to sing together. So lahat po ng mga blessed couples natin belonging to 30,000 and 360,000 couples, we would like to request you to come in front. Let's give them a big round of applause. So maraming natin sila. Lahat po ng 30,000 and 360,000 couples, please come in front. Please join po. So we will go to sing happy anniversary to you, okay? Are you ready? So let's give them more encouragement and power, right? To rebuild Channel Group in our country. Aju? Okay, so let's sing together. Happy anniversary to you. Say, Jack. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to you. So hintayin natin. And then cake cutting. Dito may 30,000 sa yung 360. Okay, so cake cutting. So let's sing together. Let's really kanto muna. Okay, let's sing. Sing Jack. To you, happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to you. 1, 2, 3. Let's give a big hand. Okay, so one more time while they're cutting. Let's sing one more time. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to you. Congratulations, thank you very much to all our other members belonging to 30,000 and 360,000 couples. So group picture ko, group picture. I'll be joining. Sali po ako. Okay. Vision, Igo! Sumi! Thank you very much and congratulations. Already 24 years ago and 27 years ago, but it's still very strong, right? And becoming more stronger and stronger. Aju, you are truly the inspiration of young Blessed families. Yeah, so thank you very much for your dedication and hard work for the Providence. So for the news and announcements, paki-flash lang po sa screen. So anyway, this time, tomorrow we're going to have national leaders meeting. So we are inviting all the executive, regional and center leaders and presidents of providential organizations, and then UCC members and cluster leaders. We are inviting you tomorrow to join our one-day national leaders meeting. And so that is very, very important. We wanted to really connect more to parents and to the direction of the international headquarters. Also in how we can truly fulfill our goal in the Philippines of 1.2 million. Also, I would like to encourage all our Blessed families who are here, who are not yet registered to become Tribal Messiah. We are really encouraging you to register to the HTM department because, we need at least 1,200 actually Blessed families in order for us to make 1.2 a reality. That's why actually this is a great opportunity for all the central families. As you know, True Mother's dream and wish is for all the central families to be offered together. We will going to make this gift together. Right? True Mother wants all the central families to enter Chanduwon as her gift to our beloved True Father and Heavenly Parents. That's why no one should be left behind. So I would like to really encourage all of you, please register and then we can give you area. Later on, maybe after the National Leaders Meeting, we want to give all our Blessed families areas. And then we're going to fulfill 1.2 million together. Aju. So these are our upcoming activities. Actually today, this afternoon, we have two blessing events. Two big events and then one just a small blessing event. So, paki-move po ang slide. So we have blessing today in Antipolo and in Caloocan City. And then 26 will be National Leaders Meeting, and then 31 IPBF in Mandaluyong, September 1 in Cardona. Actually, every week we have schedule, and then 4 and 5. This is especially for the HTM 2-day seminar and meeting schedule. So you can see the schedule almost every week schedule. So now our HTM department, our HTM director, Jimmy of Asia Pacific, is really checking everything now in Asia, also in the Philippines, to really prepare, especially those who accomplished already and the candidates to enter Chondoon. Because November is the first registration. Those who have accomplished already, we need to check the list, and then the 43. We need to make sure so that when once they enter Chondoon, it is really real, right? Because this is already for eternity. It will never erase anymore. That's why very, very important now. The IHQ is checking everything, even those who have accomplished already before. So these are the schedule in different areas you can check. And then next, September 7 and 8, the 11th batch of BPLC, because this is also one of our key to accomplish this 1.2 million. We need to educate. We need to look for John the Baptist that will going to help us make this a reality. And then 14 and 16 will be the Asia Pacific Leadership Conference. Basically, participants will be coming from Oceania, especially from Palau, because also there will be summit in Palau this coming December. True Mother is going there. So they will be coming to the Philippines for this conference, September 14 and 16. And then 1 and 3, we will going to have the ALC for the Academe. So you can invite your potential, John the Baptist in your area belonging to Academe. This will be in Manila, Century Park Hotel, Manila. And then October 5, 4 and 5 will be for the youth leaders, Asia Leadership Conference for youth leaders. And then November 18 to 21, Asia Pacific Summit in Cambodia. This Cambodia, I would like to announce in advance, for the victory celebration in Cambodia, actually we will going to have, our staff, members from the Philippines, our leaders, will be involved in Cambodia. Actually, tonight we are going to fly, Jimmy, Richel, some of our key staff will going to Cambodia for meeting. Some already will going to stay for a month. So the Philippines will going to really help. Maybe about 30 to 50 staff coming from the Philippines. And then, Dr. Yong is requesting, because in Cambodia, they don't have many members in Cambodia. So during the victory celebration with True Mother, we wanted to bring members from Asia Pacific to join. So in the Philippines, Dr. Yong gave us a goal. That's why I would like to encourage all our blessed families to go to Cambodia for the victory celebration with True Mother. Dr. Yong told me to bring at least 250 members from the Philippines. Anyone, the Central Families, of course, please take care of your travel to Cambodia. But we really, yes, no visa. In Cambodia, no visa. Visa on arrival. For Filipinos, 30 days. And then if you want to go and then extend some time there and then go around, then that's good opportunity. So our minimum to support the victory celebration is 250 people. Of course, we have about 30 to 50 staff. So, yes. So if you will book now, kasi may schedule na tayo, this is the schedule. Victory celebration, I think is 20 po ba yung victory celebration? Number 20 or 21 ng morning. So you can go during the event this time. So you can already book your flight. About $200 if you can book earlier. $200. Anyway, Cambodia, it's cost of living there is not so high. So pwede kayong magtipid doon sa Cambodia when you go there. So just prepare for airfare, and then so we can really support and show our support to our true parents. You can meet True Mother there with this great victory. Cambodia event is very, very important event. Actually, we are inviting, really very potential heads of state that will going to help for the unification of North and South Korea. That's why this is very, very important event. So let's really show our support. Aju? Also, we will be preparing one performance team. About 30 to 50 people, Dr. Yong said, because the stage is so big. So, from this time already need to select. Last time it was Truly. So, I don't know, we will check our second generation and some students from CAR. We're going to, from now, we need to start to prepare. because there will be screening later. If our performance will be, approved, then we can go to perform there. But if not, then we cannot go. So later we're going to assign someone who is going to be in charge. So we need to prepare the best performance. Aju? Yeah. So anything? Wala na? So, yeah, thank you very much. I can see some new faces. Welcome po. I can see also the family of Hannah. They are here with us. Thank you very much po for attending. And then also some of our, meron po bang mga bago first time mag-attend ng Sunday service? Please stand po to be recognized. So thank you very much po for coming and attending. Welcome po to our big family. Lumalaki na po ng lumalaki. And we really want to make just one family in this country of the Philippines. Aju? Yeah, this is the dream of two parents, one family. Under heavenly parents and two parents. So, kung wala na po, so that will be all for this Sunday. Thank you very much for coming. So I would like to request everyone to please rise and then let's sing together Holy Song number 33. Let us now offer our use of prayer. Aju, aju, aju. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Let's greet each other. Thank you very much. Let's give once again our appreciation to our sub-regional director, Dr. Julius Manitel. Thank you very much, Sir Julius. All of us and our families, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for coming. See you again next Sunday. Also, we would like to encourage all members to fill up this new registration form, our membership form. This is new one, and then also we're going to provide new ID. So we would like to encourage all members to please fill up to the office sila pupunta. Meron po dyan sa likod. So please have this new registration form for all our members. Maraming salamat po.